every day. I mean, this was a dream of mine as a kid. I'm from Georgia, the great state of Georgia, but so growing up, I always knew how great LSU was, but I never really knew what LSU was about until I got down there. And I thank God every single day for allowing me to be an LSU Tiger. It is truly the honor of my lifetime to put on that purple and gold and represent the great state of Louisiana and the great fans. And that's an honor that I don't take lightly. I know how passionate our fan base is, and I'd be doing them a disservice if I don't go out there every single day and give 110% for them, because I know how much they love us. So it's not hard to do. It's not hard to go out there and play passionate when you're playing in front of the best fans in the world.
And we say happy good morning to you Friday morning. We are taping Tigers Roar here on the 18th day of July, wrapping up SEC Media Days. Hope everybody doing well. Of course, we have put to bed the national championship with LSU baseball. Now all things pointing to LSU football, an exciting SEC season. Folks, it's going to be here before you know it, the night of August the 30th, and it's this speaking and talking season. And as always, couldn't do it without our great cameraman, Marty Campbell, making all of the camera angles look right. Jonathan Poche, our producer, co-host, and, of course, the man behind the glass here on this Friday. We had some weather come in, so we hope everybody has avoided all of that. And, JP, we say happy Friday. I don't remember the last time we taped the Tigers Roar on a Friday, but we wanted to wait until all of the coaches and players had their opportunity. Oh, by the way, during this show, we will give you up-to-date media predictions on the finish for the SEC. And JP, one of the things that I have realized as we've done a deep dive getting ready for this LSU football season, a lot of games on this schedule are going to be tough, and LSU's defense better be appreciably better because they are going against some really, really good quarterbacks. Good to talk with you again, JP. Hope your summer's been okay. I think most of us just trying to get to football season, but happy Friday, my friend.
Same to you, bud, man. Happy Friday. To answer your question, I don't think we've ever taped a Tigers Roar on a Friday, but happy to be here. Happy to have you there viewing the audience. Of course, you catch us on YouTube as well at youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. We archive all the Tigers Roars right there for your viewing pleasure. So while you're at the page, go ahead and hit the like, the subscribe, notification buttons if you haven't done so already, and leave us a comment. Love to hear from you guys. Let us know how we're doing. Give your comment on what you think, how we're doing, how you think the Tigers are doing. Give your comments and your input. We love it to have it here on Tigers Roar. Yeah, Bud, man, baseball is over. The MLB draft happened early this week. Cade Anderson goes number 3 overall to the Seattle Mariners. LSU has 3 pitchers taken in the top 100. So Jay Johnson now has 4 players selected in the first round in the 4 years he's been at LSU. Congrats to the baseball team and all the players that are moving on to the MLB. But yeah, now all focus moves to football. SEC Media Days, of course, going on this week. Brian Kelly, who you're from later on in this program, spoke. He went first for the coaches. I thought BK was a little nervous, bud, man. I'll get your input on that, what you thought. But I thought he was lighthearted. He kind of tried to make jokes in the beginning, but then got right into what LSU is doing, trying to graduate champions, really putting his MO out there for the national media. Nussmeier, the quarterback, returning for his 5th year of eligibility, or his last year of eligibility, is going to really be the engine that drives this car. And he's saying all the right things, Bud, man. He waited his turn. The son of a coach, really committed, picked up his leadership qualities this offseason, which I thought was the biggest part of his game that had to improve moving into year 2. So really excited for the purple and gold. Obviously, Weeks back, healthy. Harold Perkins on that defense, along with all those additions to the transfer portal. Coach Brian Kelly has what he thinks is his most well-rounded roster he's had at LSU. So, yeah, a lot of excitement. Looking forward to the season.
Yeah, I didn't think that BK gave us a lot of meat and potatoes that we could sink our teeth into. He was first up on Monday morning, and look, there's no other way to say it, but a lot of these young media people nowadays, they don't care about getting anything right. They don't care about getting anything wrong. All they care about is getting clicks. And Greg McElroy, 20 or 30 minutes in, you can tell whether his wife wasn't giving him any attention, he needed clicks or whatever, throws the elephant in the room right out of into the big end of the swimming pool. Yes, I've got it on good authority that Nick Saban is coming back to college football. Now, having a great relationship with Coach Saban. One of the things that all of us learned very quickly here is that he's very calculated, and he likes to be able to shape young players. He likes to be able to build his program. But this is a new day and age. There's a reason he retired. And JP, I thought it was an asinine comment because, first of all, anybody that knows Nick's not making the decision. Miss Terry's making that decision. And I don't know why she would want her husband to go back. Yes, you hate to retire. Hell, I don't want to retire. But Saban has got a great job with ESPN. He's still involved with Alabama a little bit. He's still involved with knowing the nuances of the game. Oh, by the way, his daughter, Kristen Saban, who doesn't have the greatest of reputations, if you followed her through the years, she doused that fire with some cold water saying he's not coming back. Y'all had him for long enough. But, JP, I just thought it was an asinine comment from Greg McElroy starting off 30 minutes in. First of all, where's the spot he's going to land? And I just don't think he wants to put up with the entitled handout, what are you going to do for me, recruit that is so prevalent in this day and age. Look, in the old days, when you could pay him under the table, around the table, on top of the table, we all know Alabama and Saban did great things. But I thought he had lost a little bit of his edge in the last year or so. So that, to me, started me off on the wrong way. But what do you expect from a former Alabama quarterback wannabe?
Yeah. Yeah, and you said it, but man, I think that Miss Terry is going to make that call for Coach Nick Saban. It should be up to them. They've put enough time into this game. They've done enough for the sport of football to where they can make this choice on their own. They don't have to be influenced by a ton of money. They don't need the money. They don't need to prove anything. It would be a situation that had to be perfect for Coach Nick Saban. It wouldn't be a rebuild. It'd be somebody that he'd go in right away, take over the reins, and compete for championships. I don't see it happening, bud, man. Not without some type of NIL structured where he has some type of control over this free market. They did a little bit with the collective bargaining agreement. I think that is in the right direction, but have to do something else with this NIL climate before Nick Saban's even going to come back and sniff it. Nothing to prove. Everybody already knows he's the best college coach to ever walk on the field, and it would only tarnish the legacy, in my opinion. I don't think he needs it, and I don't think it's going to happen.
So we get into BK, and BK, of course, is under the gun. Everybody out there watching and viewing and listening on all of our social media sites. Of course, we're on TV today, Tigers Roar TV. And as we go into this show right now, taping Friday morning, we do expect to get media predictions before the end of the show. I like the fact that there has not been a lot of talk in Atlanta about LSU. I think, JP, pretty much the consensus is that Texas and Georgia are going to be 1-2. You can pick them either way you want. Alabama probably 3, LSU 4, Ole Miss 5. And after that, South Carolina, Texas A&M, Tennessee, Oklahoma. I mean, JP, when you start looking at the quarterbacks and you look at every coach coming back, there's no new coaches in the SEC. Everybody's undefeated right now. But, man, we know about the daunting first game. Clemson is going to be 4 or 5 in the opening poll. LSU could be as high as 7 or 8, could be 9. It's going to be a top 10 matchup. JP, BK putting all his emphasis on this first game. All the balls in the golf bag from BK are in this first game. Clemson paws around the locker room, 1-0 signs all around the locker room. But here's the problem, JP. This is the first true road opener that BK will and his team will have to go against. And I watched a lot of tape this summer in the last couple of weeks. Clemson at home, you're going to see a stadium full of orange. It's going to be lit. It's going to be at night. Cade Klubnik comes in as one of the best quarterbacks in the country. Got a great defensive end who's expected to go in the top 6 or 7. Got a great defensive tackle. Have other players. They've got 4 or 5 players that are mock draft into the first round. What a daunting challenge. And JP, I think every Tiger fan out there right now knows in year 4, this is playoffs or bust for BK this year.
Yeah, but I mean, I think a lot of people are starting to get nervous about the game too. 5 in a row, losing a season opener doesn't help that situation. Confidence is down in the Tigers, so yeah, a lot of emphasis on going 1-0. We hear a lot of coaches talk about going 1-0 each week. Coach Todd Graves at Southern University says it all the time. Try to go 1-0 each week, but this makes it really easy for Coach Brian Kelly to get this team focused on Clemson. Yeah, have to start off with a win. I'm not going to say, lose the first game and start chanting, fire Brian Kelly, bring in Nick Saban for the $52 million buyout it would take in the contract. But I will say there's a lot of importance on this game, and this will be no pushover. Now, granted, it is the first game of the season. There is no preseason for college, so all the players that are really high-rated preseason for Clemson need to go out there and show it. And yeah, Kay Klubenik is a great quarterback. They do have a great defensive line, but it all depends on who shows up to play that day, that night. And when the lights come on, it's going to be the hugest stage in college football. All the eyes will be on that game. LSU's going to have something to prove. And I don't know if Clemson has the same edge as LSU does going into this game. It is going to be a home game for Clemson. The battle of the real Death Valley, if you want to talk about that. I don't think anybody else really considers Clemson to be the real Death Valley outside of South Carolina. But look, it's going to be a great matchup. You're going to find out real quick and in a hurry what you're made of as a team. If you're tough, if you're capable to go on the road, win a game, stuff's going to go bad quick in that game. You're going to have some adversity early in the matchup, and you have to work through it and fight through it. And these young players are going to have to find out who they are real quick and in a hurry.
All right, let's take a quick timeout. We'll pay some bills, and we come back, let you hear from BK. Also, we'll set it up, some of the advantages and disadvantages LSU has going into this opening game. As always, hope you're doing well. We once again, when we get out of the TV business with sports, we're going to do weather, as they botched another report. But I'm glad to see, although, JP, with all this rain, if you're like me, you've been eating snacks and hoping that this weather gets out of here. But a little tropical situation that has not been as bad as we thought and predicted, which is par for the course. But we come back on a Friday morning right here on Tigers Roar, right here on Pelican Sports TV. BK up next, right here on Pelican Sports TV.
Move and be moved by these savings right now at Team Mazda. Choose a new 25 Mazda CX-50, Mazda CX-70, or Mazda CX-90 and get low 1.9% financing. Discover the Mazda experience and save right now at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Visit Treads & Care Tire Company's new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for over 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair and top-notch customer service.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats, the flavor says it all.
Look up to the skies, I see
And we welcome you back. As we said, at some point in the show, we'll give you media predictions. Not that those mean anything. Nick Saban used to joke, you guys never get it back, get it right anyway. But Texas and Georgia do have appreciably easier schedules. Right quick before, JP, we get to BK. Man, oh man. JP, I think the difference that Tiger fans have got to be cognizant of this year is that the teams that used to be cupcakes where you got your little schedule card many years ago and you put a W next to this one, there aren't many of them at Clemson to open up the season. That's a top 5 opponent. I don't think BK has beaten a top 5 team on the road at LSU. Week 3, you got Billy Napier and DJ Lagway coming in to Tiger Stadium. Oh, by the way, you lost to Florida last year. Week 5, you're at Ole Miss. JP, it's never an easy game to win at Oxford, although Lane Kiffin let the LSU steal one last year. After the Ole Miss game, LSU plays 5 games, then you get an open date, then you've got a trio of games, and you think, oh, it's not going to be too bad. Hosting South Carolina, if you don't get Sellers hurt in the first half last year, you lose that game.
Yep, absolutely.
Then you've got Texas A&M, a game that you lost because their quarterback came in and you couldn't stop him. And then, of course, you got Vanderbilt on the road. Vandy beat Alabama in Nashville. Diego Pavia is back. So that little 3-game stretch there, Carolina at home, A&M at home, and then at Vandy. Then you get another date, of course, at Alabama, and then at Oklahoma to finish it up. JP, if you lose the first game, it's hard for me to see LSU making 10-2 and making the playoffs. There's just not enough room for any kind of error. And so I'm not saying playoffs are bust on the Clemson game. I guess they could do it. I do think LSU will be a better football team in week 3 or 4. JP, I'm calling it now. This LSU defense is going to have to carry them in some of those early games.
Yeah, Bud, man, and it's really going to depend on the offensive line and the running game, in my opinion. For week 1, it's going to take some time to get the rhythm between the quarterback and the wide receivers, get the play calls with Coach Sloan. So you're going to have to rely on that running game, that offensive line to open up holes. And, you mentioned it. There's not a lot of easy wins on this schedule. That's why this week 1 is so important, as you said. I mean, you go 0-1 again for the 5th time, 6th time in a row. You're discouraged. You're down. You have to deal with the bumps and bruises from week 1. Now you have a cupcake game, air quotes around cupcake, before you have to face Florida. The earliest you played Florida, in my memory at least, and DJ Lagway did a great job last year. Come back with a year under his belt, and he's going to be a tough test for LSU. And you mentioned it. I mean, Pavia and Sellers from South Carolina, these guys are competitive, and there is no pushover team in the SEC. We obviously known that for quite a number of years now, but have to start off strong. Yeah, we're not saying that the season's over if you lose week 1, but it gets a whole lot tougher. There's not a lot of wiggle room there, as you mentioned. So I am saying 10-2 for the LSU Tigers. Grant, they do win the first one, but you drop that week 1 matchup against Clemson, and it's going to be uphill battle for the rest of the season for LSU.
I think we agree on that. I'm picking 10-2 if they beat Clemson, 9-3 if they lose that game. Of course, you don't want to be in a position to where you're 9-2 and at Oklahoma. Brent Venables could be playing for his job. BK and LSU could be playing that final game to get into the playoffs. Here is Brian Kelly in year 4 at LSU. First up on the coaches' roundtable with the media in Atlanta earlier this Monday this week.
LSU head football coach Brian Kelly.
I'm not starting until that's over. Go Tigers. Love it. Well, welcome. It's an exciting part of this month because we're close to football season, and clearly as a football coach we love this part of the year. I think what stands out to me is that when I get this opportunity to talk to everybody, it's really about generating the continuous excitement from our fan base for LSU football. We have an incredibly passionate fan base. We've sold over 75,000 season tickets. We lead the country in season ticket sales. And so as we get close to the season, you know, you get these opportunities in front of the media, and I know you want to talk specifics. You want to talk about some of the hot topics that are confronting us. What confronts me is how we continue to generate the incredible support. And that means what are we about to do? And that is continue the vision of graduating champions at LSU. Every single day, that's what we talk about. I know you find that hard to believe in a sense, but that's what we talk about. We are still college. This is still about college. This is not the NFL. And that's a great thing for a guy like myself that started in Division II and has worked my way through 5 different programs. It's really about the student athlete and the relationships with student athletes and helping them get to that goal of graduating and helping them get to that goal of winning championships. And so we have a clear process in place for our guys, and that process is what I love to do. I come up here every year because I love the relationships with players. I love developing our players. I love the ability on a day-to-day basis to have a transformational relationship with them, so when they leave our program, they're successful in the NFL, they're successful in life. And I know sometimes it's sound bites and, you know, quick observations, but that's my life work. I'm much more interested in the significance of what we're doing than just the success. And so I start my talk with you about certainly excited for our fan base and this season, but I'm more excited for our players and the opportunity that they're going to get to continue in this developmental process.
You finally have a fully healthy Chris Hilton, also the new additions. But I want to talk to you about Trey Green. He's a young talent. What is expected out of him this year?
Well, continue his development. As you know, he came on as a true freshman last year, showed his ability clearly, especially in the red zone. We want him to be an every down tight end. So that means you've got to block in line. You've got to be physical, because I think we've already seen his gifts as a wide receiver tight end. But now it's maybe some of the dirty work, if you will, where he's got to get his hand in the dirt and get after some people at the line of scrimmage. So, and he's done a great job. I mean, physically, he's more developed. He's stronger. He's had he had a few days where he was dehydrated. It gets a little hot in Louisiana in the summer. But other than that, he has made incredible progress. So we're looking for him to have a great year for us.
Right side first row, then pass it to your right.
Tyler Combs, 24/7 Sports. Brian, ever seems like your teams and against Ole Miss have kind of been like a firework kind of matchup right till the end. Just what do you look back on at last year, and how do you look at the matchup this year?
Well, when I think of the Ole Miss games, I think of we all want to play better defense. They've been great offensive games, right? I mean, we made an incredible comeback and won that game in overtime. The year before, it was a track meet. It's a game that our fan base loves to play against Ole Miss. But I think we would both say that we're looking to play championship level defense. And I think Ole Miss was closer to that last year with the group that they put together. Now it's our job to put together a championship defense at LSU, and I think we're closer to that.
Middle, second row.
Hey, Coach. Michael Brawner, WNSP in Mobile. You've had the opportunity to coach against Alabama now 3 times. It's obviously one of the biggest rivalries in the conference, but there's also been 2 different coaches. How has that changed going to prepare against Alabama from a Nick Saban coach team to a Kalen DeBoer coach team?
Well, Look, I've played him 5 times because I played him twice at Notre Dame, and the one characteristic is physicality in the trenches. Alabama has been the most physical team that I've gone against as a head coach. They showed that and displayed that against us last year. That's why it was so important for us to upgrade there, especially on the defensive line. We felt like we got pushed around a little bit. So I would say there's some great similarities to Coach Saban's teams and Coach DeBoer's in that they recognize that this game is still won up front, and Alabama recognizes that. Now, do they have terrific skill players? Absolutely, right? We could talk about them all day. But I think it starts with the trenches, and I think it starts with, the ability to maintain a standard that has been set at Alabama, and I think Kalen's done that as well.
Front row.
Dick Cox with Lindy Sports and Cox Sports Broadcasting. Well, Coach, it seems like every year you have a tough season's opener. You've got another probably top 5 matchup going to Clemson, the Battle of the Tigers, the Battle of Death Valley, and all the things you can imagine right there. But what are your thoughts about going to Clemson to play week 1?
A great deal of respect for Clemson. I think that is a given because of my background playing Clemson, as an ACC team. So I have great respect for Dabo and what he's built and the championships. But at the end of the day, our feeling is this is a goal of ours. This is one of our tangible goals that we have put out in front, that we want to start the season 1-0. It's important to us. And so our off-season training has been about that. It's about going 1-0 and playing a great program. And we're excited about the challenge. It's going to be difficult. But look, I don't think you set realistic goals unless they're difficult. This will be a difficult challenge for us, but one that we're excited about and one that we're focused on with great intent.
Everybody is excited about the potential. Oh, by the way, on the morning of August 30th, you see Arch Manning make his debut as the Texas star quarterback at Ohio State at 11 o'clock, and then you'll see Syracuse and Alabama and Florida State, and then, of course, LSU Clemson at 6:30 on ABC. JP, Tigers are going to be reporting to camp in a couple of weeks. We've talked about it. Look, that offensive line, what worries you the most about this team? And everybody points right out of the gate, number one, that offensive line. Are they going to open up holes for the run game? Are you going to be more creative in the run game?
Yeah.
Are you going to protect Nuss? And I think Nuss will agree. Nuss had 29 touchdowns, 12 INTs, over 4,000 yards. You want the yardage, but I'd like to see 31, 32 touchdowns and get those INTs down to 7 or 8. We'll see if he improves in that area, JP.
Yeah, Bubman, I completely agree, and I think it's well-founded to have a question mark when it comes to the offensive line. 4 offensive linemen from last year's team got drafted to the NFL, 2 bookend tackles that had started since true freshmen, and they were pretty good. Will Campbell, 4th overall pick in an NFL draft, and it remains to be seen if LSU is going to have a productive 5 that then get out there and open up a hole. But I think the discouraging part was last year we thought this offensive line was going to be great, and it just didn't happen. They were not able to run the football, especially in the red zone. Had trouble scoring points when they got down inside the 5. So, yeah, the offensive line, huge question mark for me. Also, the linebackers. Hal Perkins, Whit Weeks, awesome players. When they were healthy for LSU, they really put some product on the field. But coming back from injury, both these guys, we don't really know where they're going to be at. Whit Weeks said, you'll hear from him a little bit later, that he's 100%. He feels better than he ever had. But will that translate to football shape? It remains to be seen. So offensive line and getting those linebackers back healthy is a big question marks to me. I'm pretty faithful in Nuss. He's going to make good decisions, take care of the football this season, tuck it and run when he has to. I know he's very critical on himself, watching the tape on how he can improve. So, look, he's a coach's son. He's always trying to improve at practice, so that's a good thing. Not worried about Nuss, but have to be able to run the football for LSU, especially at the red zone inside that 5-yard line. Got to get touchdowns to the field goals in the SEC. It's just too important to get touchdowns.
Quick timeout. We come back with the aforementioned Garrett Nussmeier and Whit Weeks. They were 2 of the 3 players that LSU brought to Atlanta. When we return on a Friday edition, another edition of Tigers Roar right here on Pelican Sports Radio and TV.
Tremonti's has meat. Tremonti's has seafood. Tremonti's has much more. Tailgating and home gating platters. Huge wine and liquor selection. Beer and all the spices you need. Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats. Ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs. 20 flavors of sausage for the grill. Daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tremonti's.com.
Few things in life are as valuable as family and peace of mind, especially when it comes to your final arrangements, and that's where Lee Serio can help. His prepaid funeral plans make sure your life will be remembered exactly the way you want it to. With Lee Serio, no detail is too large or too small. Call Lee or his wife Gretchen at 225-315-6329. Let Lee Serio give you and your family the peace of mind you all deserve.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Right now is Tundra time at Team Toyota, where you can get 0% financing on a new 25 Tundra or get $3,000 customer cash plus $1,000 trade-in allowance. Find these savings and so much more right now at Team Toyota, I-12 at O'Neill.
Treads & Care Tire Company announces its new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair with top-notch customer service. Treads & Care offers the convenience of shuttle service and pickup and delivery of your vehicle. You can also enjoy the comfortable customer area, complete with workstations, high-speed internet, and a complimentary coffee bar.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
Treads & Care, the tires you need and the service you want.
Appreciate all of our great sponsors over here on Tigers Roar, of course, Pelican Sports TV and radio. Before we get into the tape on Garrett Nussmeier, here we go, JP. First question of the day for you. Who is the first and second team quarterback predictions from the media? Man, so many choices. You could pick 4 or 5 easily, but what do you have? Who's number 1 and who's number 2? SEC media predictions on all SEC at quarterback.
For me, if I'm making my prediction, I'm taking Nuss number 1. Arch Manning has something to prove. He's in the conversation, so it's between Arch and Lenore Sellers. To me, Sellers really did some good things to LSU last year at home, so very gifted, talented player. I'm taking Nuss number 1, and for 2, I'll take Arch or Sellers.
All right, of course, don't forget DJ Lagway from Florida.
Yep.
You'll have to face him in week 3. John Mateer is the new quarterback at Oklahoma. We'll find out more about him. But here we go. Garrett Nussmeier saying all the right things. Love what he had to say at the Manning Passing Academy. Here's what he had to say to the media this Monday in Atlanta.
Hey, Garrett, good morning. AP instead of AP as we see it. Garrett, what do you like to tell people about this LSU team and the wide receivers and also about the running game this year that might be different?
Yeah. Well, for one, just in general about the team, I think it's the closest team that I've ever been on at LSU, just as far as the brotherhood and the camaraderie within the locker room. As far as the receiver room, I mean, I don't think that we have a receiver that runs over a 4.4. So that's exciting. A lot of versatility and a lot of speed. And, the run game, I think, has been a big emphasis for us in improving in that area. And I think you'll see a lot of versatility just as far as getting guys the ball in different ways.
Right side, third row.
Garrett, you guys added both Nick Anderson and Bauer Sharp from Oklahoma. What do both of those guys add to you guys' offense?
Yeah, I mean, both of those guys are unbelievable players. And so I'll say for one, Bauer has kind of added another level of backbone to our offense. And that type of mindset that he has, he's ready to take somebody's face off, and he can make plays, and he's electric with the ball in his hand. And Nick, on the other hand, is around the same way. He's very electric, very, very good football player, and makes plays on the ball in the air that are unbelievable. And so for him and me, it's just been about getting our chemistry down and the timing and getting on the same page of things. And, that's what the summer's been for and the spring ball. So very excited for Nick. Looking forward to what he's going to be able to put out this year.
Second row.
Garrett, you're going into your second full season as a starter. Talk about just how much you've learned and developed personally as a player. Obviously, you guys have big goals as a team this year, but you as a quarterback.
Yeah, well, for one, just having last year to be able to go back on now and watch, study this entire offseason has been about that for me. Just watching all parts of the game, seeing the areas where I need to be critical on myself and improve at, and whether it's taking care of the football or using my legs more in situations that I need to, and but it's also been about seeing the things I did well, also having confidence in that and confidence that this is what I was able to do in year one, and now it's just all I got to do is raise the floor, and I think that obviously my goals are team goals, and so I think that me being the best version of myself that I can be will hopefully lead us into the team goals.
Right side, fourth row.
Hey Garrett, it's Jada Ferris with WAFB in Baton Rouge. You said a couple weeks ago, you're not Joe, you're not Jaden, I'm me. How important is individuality to you, especially letting people know the kind of quarterback you are?
Yeah, it's huge to me. I think, obviously with the track record that LSU quarterbacks have in the past, it's not a thing of disrespect. I have a lot of respect for Jaden, a lot of respect for Joe, and what they were able to accomplish in their second years, and also, respectively in their first years as well. But, as I've said before, at the end of the day, I'm me. I'm Garrett Nussmeier. I'm a son of Christ. I'm a follower of God, and that's who I am. That's who God made me to be, and I'm worried about improving myself, being the best that I can be in order to help lead us to where we want to go.
Third row in the middle.
Tyler Shaw with KBTX and College Station. Just curious your thoughts on Marcel Reed, and you kind of worked with him with the Manning Passing Academy. Did you guys also talk about the game last year?
Yeah,
in college?
not too much. I might have made a couple jokes in there. I think I told him that I gave it to him or something like that, and I was like, "You're welcome," or something like that, and we had a laugh. But he's a good football player, obviously. He can make plays with his feet and also with his arm, and so very excited for him. He's a great dude, great person. I'm looking forward to watching him this year.
Middle, fourth row.
Trevor Denton, Way 31. What excites you the most about getting another opportunity to play in Tuscaloosa, but this time as the starting quarterback?
Yeah, obviously Bryant Denny, I have memories of, when I was a kid, being around that building and that stadium. My dad was there, and some of my greatest experiences of my childhood were while we were with Alabama. So there's a lot of, I guess, backhanded love. It's a hatred, but it's also, it'll always hold a special place in my heart. And so anytime I get an opportunity to go back to a place that I lived and play on that field, it's the same when I was able to go back to Gainesville last year and play in the Swamp. I have memories playing there. I have memories, training on the stadium field and things like that. So it's really cool. Something that helped me a lot, when I was younger, is having those experiences and no moment being too big because I was blessed enough to be around the game and things like that. So obviously very much looking forward to going back to Tuscaloosa this year.
Front row, and then pass it to your left, both of you.
Hey, Garrett, David Cloninger, Charleston Post and Courier, out at the South Carolina LSU game last year. Had a lot of close plays, some flags that people still question. What do you remember about the game? And then the hit on you that wiped a pick six. What do you remember about that play and the explanation?
Yeah, I mean, that happened for sure. But I also remember getting the ball back on the 50 and taking it down and scoring to win the football game. So at the end of the day, the LSU Tigers won. And so obviously that was a great environment, really cool experience. It was loud, it was electric, it was really cool. And so a great memory for me, my first road win as a starter, first road win. So exciting. And yeah, the hit happened. It is what it is. So,
front row.
Dick Cox with Lindy Sports and Cox Sports Broadcasting. Your season's opener is being battled, the battle of the Tigers for the battle for the real Death Valley, and it's even thrown in now with you personally about you versus Klubnik there, that both of you are listed the top of the All-American list, though. But what's your thoughts on that game?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, for one, at the end of the day, it's the LSU Tigers versus the Clemson Tigers, and that's what I'm focused on. And there's no me versus Cade or anything like that. Cade's an unbelievable football player, and he's a very special talent, and Clemson's a very good football team, and that stadium is a very, very awesome environment as well. So I'd say it's more of a welcoming of that opportunity to be able to go into a place like that on primetime television at 7 o'clock and, just put it all out there. I think there's been an emphasis for us as a team, a total switch of mindset to go 1-0 and to focus on that. There's no hiding from the fact that we've lost the last 5 openers, and that's something that we've acknowledged and we've accepted, and I think we've changed the way we think in order to make that correction.
Right side, second row.
Alex Byington on 3. You room with Arch at the MPA. Just from what you know about him personally, what what are your thoughts about him taking over as the
Yeah.
QB1? And in general, the quarterback class here in the SEC this year, Arch, you, Lenoris, several others, that'd
Yeah.
be a long list. But what do you think about the class in general?
Yeah, no, obviously I love Arch. He's a great dude, great player. I'm really excited for him. He kind of went through a similar experience that I had to go through and waiting for your time and, waiting for your opportunity. And I think that, he's very prepared. Obviously, he comes from a very prestigious family who understands the game very well, more than most, yeah, obviously. But I'm very excited for him. I think he's going to do very well. His mindset is great. He doesn't feel like he's earned anything, even though I believe he already has, because of the type of player he is. So I'm excited to watch him go prove it, and I'm really rooting for him.
As we said, in case you don't know this, folks, Garrett Nussmeier last year did something that only one other quarterback had ever done before, and that's throw for 4,000 yards. Now, 29 touchdowns is fine, 12 INTs, 3 in the A&M game. That, to me, JP, is the kicker. Look, I loved it in the first half against USC. They threw the football, got rid of it quickly. USC didn't know what was going to hit them, and then all of a sudden they go in at halftime, and BK says, "Let's play Smash Mouth," and they got stopped endlessly at the 10 and the 5 and inside the red zone. So, what do you want to see Nuss improve on this year, JP?
Taking care of the football, Bud, man. As Usnar said, anticipation quarterbacks, they're going to have picks. What they thought they read before pre-play turns out to be different, or they get tricked by a safety that's reading their eyes. Interceptions are going to happen. But when you're trying to force plays, when it's really not there, you just got to tuck it and take the few yards and live for the next play. And I think Garrett Nussmeier understands this. And he was out trying to prove himself last year. It was his first year as a starting quarterback. And I think with the year experience under his belt and all the guys looking forward to him being their leader on the field, I think he's going to calm down a lot and just take what's in front of him. And I think he's going to have a huge year, Bud, man, huge year.
That is the biggest difference that we've heard from all of the talking heads, the administrators, the coaches, the players. Nuss has taken over this team from a leadership standpoint. This is his football team. Got to keep him healthy. He did work out a lot more with his lower body, so he's going to have more of a propensity to run a little bit, pick up a first down. He's not going to look like Burrow or Jaden Daniels, but at least he'll be able to get some much-needed yardage. And, of course, JP, you got to make sure you get that pad level down low when you do scoot and run to pick up yardage. Here we go, Whit Weeks. Everybody knows Whit Weeks and Harold Perkins both coming back. Perkins out for the whole year. Weeks hurt late in the year. This is a joy to listen to Whit Weeks, who, by the way, his oldest brother, Wes Weeks, just got the latest Freak of the Week award, Wes Weeks, and his younger brother, Zach Weeks, is on campus now. 3 of the Weeks brothers, all linebackers. Here's Wes Weeks talking to the media in Atlanta this week.
Shooter at Baton Rouge this year. Everybody fired up and ready to go?
Oh, yeah, everybody's fired up. I can feel it throughout the city. I feel like every fan is so bought in this year and invested. It's fun to be in Baton Rouge right now.
Do we have any questions right here in the third row?
Jacques Doucet, WAPTV in Baton Rouge. Whit, LSU fans, they've really gravitated to you. What's it been like to interact with them and meet them on the street and whatnot?
It's awesome. The best fans in the world are in Baton Rouge, and LSU's fan base is second to none. And getting to play in front of them on Saturday nights in Death Valley that's a special moment. Getting to play in front of my classmates in Death Valley, it's the best feeling in the world to be able to play in front of 102,000 fans who are screaming the whole time.
Going to go on the right side in the back.
Hey, Jacob Verdon from the Verdon Verdict. How's the recovery process been, Whit? How you feeling?
Yeah, thanks for asking. It was a long road to get back, but I'm feeling better than I ever have, and I credit that to the training staff and to the strength coaches. They spent a lot of time with me this offseason getting my body right and getting my ankle healthy.
We'll go here in the middle on the fourth row.
Jada Ferris with WAFB Channel 9 in Baton Rouge. Having been on the team for a while now, do you feel like you're kind of in the more veteran role now where you can like coach these younger guys up and show them kind of how things are done at LSU?
Definitely. Being here, this will now be my third year, going on junior year. I do feel like that I'm a veteran voice in that locker room, and it's cool to take the younger linebackers under your wing and kind of show them the ropes a little bit. So I take a lot of pride in that, and whenever you see them when they first get here to where they are now, that's a cool feeling for me, my brother, and Harold, who are really the veteran voices in the linebacker room. I think that's a great thing to see those guys kind of grow up before your eyes.
In the middle, back row.
Dan Peck, ESPN 106.7 in Auburn. What can you say about Garrett and his leadership and just sort of the way the team has gravitated to him in his time at LSU?
Well, first of all, that dude's a baller. So when you have a quarterback like him, it's hard not to gravitate towards him. I mean, he has a big personality. He's fun to be around, and everybody in the locker room loves him. So when your quarterback is that guy on your team, it's very exciting to see, because when your quarterback's your leader, you're going to have a good team.
Middle, second row.
Kiwi Huggins, WFB Channel 9. What are you most excited about being back on the field with your boy, Harold Perkins?
Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait to be out there playing with Harold. He's the best football player, the best defensive college football player in the world. So being able to play with him, he makes it easy to be a good football player, because you know he's going to be out there making plays, and you want to make plays for him too.
Right side, second row.
Alex Byington on 3. Wait, you can talk about Harold, but he's dealt with a lot of injuries over his career, came in 5-star kind of kid. How have you seen him adjust to that, and where's the limit for him right now?
The sky's the limit for Harold. He's the best athlete I've probably ever seen in my whole life. So if you let Harold be Harold, he'll be a superstar, and it's not going to be hard for him to be a superstar.
Middle in the back.
Any players on the team that people maybe don't really know that much about right now, but you expect them to break through over the course of the season?
There's not even one name that I could give you right now, because there's so many. The work that we've put in this offseason and seeing how far people have grown, freshmen who are now going to be sophomores, how much they've grown in this offseason, and the transfers that we've brought in, there's so many dudes who I could list off 20 guys right now who are going to have breakout years this year.
We'll go on the right side again.
Hey, Whit, how is it so far to have your little brother Zach on campus? What's that been like?
It was weird at first, because he skipped his senior year, so he's only 17 years old coming to college. But just being around him, it's a blessing. It's a blessing to be around both my brothers all the time. But it definitely took some adjusting to get used to having both of them there. Zach, he's crazy, so he's a lot of fun to be around.
Left side, third row.
Whit, you said a lot of the transfers are just going to have impact years. One of them, I don't know how familiar you are with him, but a tight end, Donovan Green. Have you gone up against him in practice, and just kind of what's he like?
That dude's a workhorse. He's one of the hardest working guys we have in the building. And I haven't been up against him yet because I wasn't able to play spring ball, but getting to watch him, that dude can play. He's an athlete that you can split out, and he's going to be able to win those one-on-one routes.
Middle in the back.
You guys are one of several teams in the SEC opening with a really big game, with a game against another major conference opponent. What can you say about knowing that you don't really have a runway? You're starting the season against a team like Clemson opening weekend.
It's exciting. I want to play the best teams every week, because those are the fun games to play in. Primetime TV, 7:30 ABC. Those are the games that you live for. That's why I play football, is to play in environments like that, play against teams like that. And my motto is, in order to be the best, you got to beat the best. So we're going to go out there week 1 against Clemson, and that's what you want. You want to go play a good team. You don't want to lollygag into the season. You want to go get into a fist fight the first week.
We'll go on the right side, third row.
Trevor Denton, Way 31. Season openers have been a little bit of a challenge for you guys. Lost the last 5, 3 under Brian Kelly. Is that something that's discussed in the locker room this offseason, how to maybe start the season off better, especially with such a big game like that?
We know what our past records have been in home games, and every day we go into work to change that narrative. Everybody in the whole building knows what the goals are for this season, and Clemson's just the first team that we have to beat in order to achieve those goals.
Number 40, you want to see Whit Weeks once again making plays like he did last year. JP, before we go to quick break, how much do you think Whit Weeks and Harold Perkins are going to be on the field at the same time? And do you think the start position is finally going to free Harold Perkins up to do what he does best?
I hope, Bud, man, that they're on the field at the same time most of the snaps. So you got to have both these stars on the field. Two dynamic athletes for the defense that play sideline to sideline. Harold Perkins gets after the quarterback like few others on the planet. So, yeah, I hope they get on the field at the same time a whole lot this season.
You can't wait for you folks to see 44, Jack Pyburn, number 6, Patrick Payton, and number 12, Jamari Butler. All three of those guys from the edge on the defensive end, edge rushers from the transfer portals. Monsieur Delane, number 4. DJ Pickett, everybody talking about how good DJ Pickett, the next great freshman cornerback. And, of course, as we know, A.J. Halsey and Tamarcus Cooley, two safeties that got in the portal. Going to be a lot of new players on the defense. Interesting to see how they show up ready for play on the night of August 30th. We come back, take our final time out, and wrap it up on a Friday edition of Tigers Roar right here on Pelican Sports TV.
Taste the feeling. You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats. The flavor says it all.
Move and be moved by these savings right now at Team Mazda. Choose a new 25 Mazda CX-50, Mazda CX-70, or Mazda CX-90 and get low 1.9% financing. Discover the Mazda experience and save right now at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda.
Caught spiders? Premier Pest Services.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to greystonecountryclub.com.
And we come back to wrap it up on this edition of Pelican Sports TV. I guess the SEC is sleeping in on a Friday morning. JP, we would have thought that the SEC media predictions would be out by now, so they're coming out here in the next couple of minutes. JP, I gave you my 5. Texas 1, Georgia 2, Alabama 3, LSU 4, Ole Miss 5. But, man, Florida, A&M, Carolina, Oklahoma, I see the SEC really having about 10 or 11 really, really good teams this year, JP.
Yeah, I agree, Bud, man. I put my top 5 right around where you had yours. Texas and Georgia right at the top. LSU, Alabama, somewhere in that second tier. And Ole Miss, yeah, South Carolina's going to be really good. And Alabama, they're going to have a very good defense, killing the board. You heard Coach Brian Kelly talk about it yesterday. The physicality of Alabama never dropped off at all from Nick Saban to Kalen DeBoer. And they really bullied LSU last year in the matchup. So, yeah, it's not going to be any pushovers this year in the SEC, Bud, man. I think LSU will be right there at the end. It starts with week 1, though. Can't say it enough. Have to start off strong against Clemson on the road. Going to be a tough task for the Tigers.
And, of course, we will be chronicling LSU football practice. We have not got an official date, but it is always right around the end of July. First thing we will find out is who got banged up, who had surgeries, who's not 100%. We'll start talking about the depth chart. A lot of new players, folks. But, JP, I talk about the strengths real quick. Wide receivers and from the edge rush, I don't think LSU would trade that with anybody. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 12, 17, 82, and 83. That is a quick rundown of Xavier Thomas, Aaron Anderson, Destin Hill, Chris Hilton, Nick Anderson, Barry and Brown, Kyle Parker, Jelani Watkins, Kylan Billiot, and then the man-child, Teron Francis. They've got 10 receivers. Then you throw in Bauer Sharp, who wears 10, Trey'Dez Green, 14. Please don't ask Trey'Dez Green to block inside the 5. You're not going to push anybody. He's more of a receiver than a blocker. And then Donovan Green, who could be a blocking tight end. Look, we talk about running backs with Cade Durham, Caleb Jackson, Harlan Berry, and J.T. Landry. It gets back down to that offensive line, JP. Are they going to be ready to block a great defensive front in the form of Clemson on the night of August 30th?
Yeah, and Bud, man, I'm really excited to look for Coach Sloan, the offensive coordinator, to really dial up some creativity, get these receivers some opportunity in space. You mentioned it, an embarrassment of riches. You have 10 deep that can start for an SEC teams. Lots of speed. You heard Garrett Nussmeier say at media day, no receiver on the team runs above a 4.4. So lots of speed, lots of versatility. Looking forward to the receivers. And, yeah, you mentioned it, the offensive line. It's going to start right there in the trenches. Got to open up holes for a run game. Got to have Garrett Nussmeier standing upright each and every game because he's going to be the straw that stirs the drink this whole season, Bud, man.
Congratulations to all those LSU baseball players that did get drafted. Cade Anderson going 3 to Seattle. Chase Shores went 44. Of course, Anthony Iacon, all the big guys that were picked. But Jay Johnson has continued to work tirelessly. He's already filling in a lot of the spots, so you know they're going to be good once again. And as always, folks, we do radio 1 to 3 on Pelican Sports Radio and Tigers Roar. Don't forget Chris Powers and the legendary Roger Cater, Gary Risponi, all the local shows that we give to you on a weekly basis right here on Tigers Roar. Stay hydrated. Sun coming back out next week. We'll see you in a couple weeks with another edition of Pelican Sports TV and Tigers Roar.